Okay, just doing a bit of a review of what we did tonight and tried to rearrange and get a little bit of organisation happening. And most people that know my shack know that the word organisation and this shack doesn't actually normally work. This was a great present from Rob VK2QR. The 10-4 Good Buddy CB radio board game. And what he doesn't know is he's going to have to play it with the family. Oh goodness, I tell you. We've got a few boxed radios I've got a chance to get into. They're all new. And some of the Panthers and Tomcats and bits and pieces. Some of these you saw a bit earlier, but we're just getting them sorted out and onto shelves. And a lot of these will stay here for now, just until we get some of the other bits and pieces sorted out on the containers that we're fitting out with loads and loads of shelving. So it'll be good. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, look, this is just such a small portion of. We won't be able to bring everything in here. A lot of it we're going to have to do up and almost put into boxes. And then once we're sort of ready to go, we can, sort of go crazy. But there you go. There's the green and the brown American Electronics with the, well, look at that. I mean, really, you're talking 240 channel radios with the brother, the very older brother of the Bengal sitting underneath it. And, of course, you've got your Bengal here. And thanks, Rob. A fairly decent-looking Super Panther, which I've got a few out in the shed, but I think yours is probably looking like, it's not too bad. So, and we do have the 455 transistors in for this one and this one. So this week we'll get those in and see if we can get cracking. Okay, so we are starting to make a bit of room in here, which is good. There's no question that it needs it. And hopefully we'll just keep on moving. I've got to start work on this little fella over here. It's only a couple of little issues with this one, but it's a Apollo, which we're just going to knock the finals out. It's just down a little bit. So, and what we've done over here is we've basically can't really see much, I suppose. Hang on, maybe the lights will help. Basically, this is some Yaesu sort of line up 757 GXs and 735s and 575s, etc. And a lot of this you would have seen before anyway. This is something that's really dear to my heart, actually. Now, if you really want to see something that means something to me, this is I used to spend time working in the World Trade Center some years back, and I used to be able to get these coins, and basically they're commemorative, and you could have them printed on there. And of course I had one done for my dad. So when my dad passed away, my mum felt that it was something that needed to come back to me, so so it did. But it's a lovely piece to certainly remember him by, and also the World Trade Center. Okay, well, that's it. I think for tonight. It's 2 a.m. or something, so time to turn off some 7610s. I think I've turned the rest off. YouTube's going over here talking, I don't know what that's going on about, but I think we might just turn that off as well. Good night, guys. Oh, he looks a bit interesting, actually. Maybe there was a reason I had that on there and I've forgotten about it. So yeah. Oh, by the way, and this is one of the more multifunctionals that we've got. Sort of 40,000 of them. Where they kind of go up and down and all around the place. Oops, that's not helping you. Up and down and all around the place. Don't mind the cables in the way, but when you put it onto 28490, they actually don't have a bad receiver on them at all. But we've got a number of different ones like that. And I would be remiss. It would be remiss of me to not just do a very quick mention, because we've done a mobile hotspot. So you guys have seen Frank's shack spot, which I'll just key that now. And oh no, sorry, wrong handheld. Try this one. This might work better. And you'll see that it comes up on the frequency with my DMR ID there, and that's me going from C4FM to DMR. Now, if I had my hotspot on my phone turned on right now, this is Frank's latest one. Now, this is great. It has this regulated 5-volt unit here, which is probably not coming up too well on camera, but I tell you, it doesn't make any noise on HF, VHF, UHF, so he's paid a little bit more for something that actually works, which I think is really clever. And the little unit here, which, believe me, is not the Chinese unit. I know it looks a little bit like the Chinese unit, but trust me, the cards used, the boards used, there's a lot of stuff gets chucked away, and Frank chooses the best. So this is what we'll use in the car, so that we can just go mobile with this little fella. I've got a hand mic goes on the side there, and we can go 505 or whatever we really want to do. Just recently I've been talking to some friends in South Africa, so I can just quickly change over to the South African frequency and do that. But yeah, just a bit of a plug for Frank. Got DMR radios.com. As you can see, I've got a fair few sort of DMR bits around the place. Keep in mind, actually, there's probably nobody going to come up at the moment, but that's me going in on C4FM. VK3 Charlie Mike just testing on C4FM. Anybody listening just for a quick test? I wouldn't think so at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you know, you got to try, don't you? You never know. Not unusual at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm sure. As VK3 Charlie Mike going to head off to bed and just doing a video of the C4FM conversion to DMR. VK3 Charlie Mike is QRT. Okay, so that's had there been someone there, what would happen is on the top of the screen there, RG505 would come up, and that would mean that we're receiving 505. And what tells us that we're transmitting is that the listening screen on Frank's unit does that, and that tells us straight away, and working quite well. And just a little plug for Matt, VK3VS. We're using, his repeater's gone to sleep for the moment, but we've got, I may have to reconnect the link, I'm not sure. 1 2 3 4 5 testing 1 2 3. No, I will. I'll have to reconnect the link. I've actually timed it out. I must admit I didn't use it much today, so, but that actually goes through those little blinking lights over there. So that gets us into our RWO repeater, and a really simple system, which, well, it's not simple, it's actually quite smart. I'd hate to try and make it all happen. But yeah, so if you haven't had a look at VK-Link, have a look at VK-Link.com. It's really quite incredible. The north and south of Tasmania is linked completely, and more it's coming to a city near you. So, which is great because, well, you know, we all want to talk to each other a little bit easier. And yeah, I mean, look, please, this is a prototype that we did. I don't know, Maddie would probably tell me I'm wrong. 2 years ago. And I've stuck with a prototype sitting there on a bit of plastic. The ones that are being built right now come in die-cast boxes and look beautiful. But waste not, want not, eh? It still works. So, and what happens is it talks to this radio here, comes in on the side there. All the data connections come into that. So it's a bit of a waste of a 70-watt radio because it runs in low power. And whether it's a handheld or whatever, I just use my little unit over here because I can use it for either VK-Link or 144.1 or anything like that. Okay, well, that's enough raving on. I'm going to go to bed 2 o'clock in the morning. So thanks very much for putting up with some of the other videos and all this commotion about having to play with some of the older era CB radios. But trust me, in time, I really think they're going to get harder and harder to find, and people are going to want to see them. So that's why we're sort of going to such effort to try and revive so many of them. Equally, we're reviving more amateur radios than we are CBs. There's no question of that. It's just that the amateur radios are far easier, to be honest. Some of the CB problems are really parts related. Often we know what the problem is, but we just don't know where to get the parts from. Most of the ham radio gear worldwide, there's a contact somewhere that can help us out. So that's all good. All right, 73 is VK3 Charlie Mike. All the best.